Yeah, we did.
I think
pretty much all aspects.
We did at this point. It'll just be repeating.
Yeah, we're just
ourselves.
repeating ourselves right now. So, has anybody got any good ideas for casting calls?
To change the casting, absolutely. I think Carl Urban would have played a great Batman. He played Dredd, okay, and all you saw was this much of his face.
That's who we want.
And literally, he was like on point. He had the voice, he had the attitude, and we've seen the fight scenes, okay? I mean, look at everything he's done. He's done Dredd. Played a secret agent in Red where he fought Bruce Willis in The Office. So obviously we know he can do fight scenes.
Yep.
He was also the assassin in Born Supremacy. Okay, so we know he's got that kind of dark, flashy, kind of fast attitude. He definitely would have played a good Bruce Wayne, only because of he's kind of quirky in Star Trek as well as Bones. So he can kind of play the two different parts if he had to be Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Oh, they downplayed him so bad in that second Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
Even though I liked it a lot,
they did.
you didn't get enough bones.
Yeah, no,
Right.
no, you didn't.
So go ahead.
Also, Catwoman, Selena Kyle, could have been Kate Beckinsale. I'm sorry, but I can't even think of her name right now.
Anne Hathaway?
Terrible. She was too skinny, too mousy. She just didn't have it, man. In my eyes, my opinion, she's.
I'd have casted her as Batman. I'd have casted her as Gordon. I'd have casted her as everybody in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I thought Anne Hathaway.
Princess Diaries fan. It's okay, Adam.
I do like the
Chris
Princess
Pine
Diaries.
was in the second one.
Yeah. If
He
you
was
haven't seen
Captain
the
Kirk.
Princess Diary, you should. It's a good, fun time.
I thought Kate Beckinsale, because of her fighting skills throughout the Underworld movies, it definitely would have brought another aspect. Because once again, everybody's going to this movie for an action movie. That's what it's for. Comic book equals action. Yes, there's some drama, there's story, but there's also a lot of action. And, okay, the hottest thing she had was pinning the guy up against the wall with her high heel. That was kind of cool. But other than that, I don't think she just didn't have that charisma to me.
She didn't convince you.
Yeah, no,
All right.
not at all. Also, Bane, Tom Hardy, you did a great job. I liked how they changed his aspect from being the big hulking guy to a guy who actually had fighting skills. But he didn't have any fighting skills. He just kept getting punched and stood there and waited for Batman and then moved him and did some other stuff and picked him up. It needed to be someone bigger, honestly. And honestly, I think The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, would have played that part because he had the size. He could definitely do a good fight scene, no doubt. Hands down from all of his WWE experience and all these other movies.
Yeah, I mean,
He could have, if they put the full Bane mask on him, he could have had that presence and still had the voice and been just that big hulking thing right in front of Batman like...
I'm with you on the Bane, Dwayne Johnson, as long as it's the original Bane mask.
Yes.
Because Tom Hardy
The luchador mask. Yes.
Because Tom Hardy did a lot of acting with just his eyes.
Yes.
And that was...
Yeah,
I
and
don't
that was...
think that Dwayne Johnson can match that. I don't. He can someday, just don't think he's there now.
He's still... Well...
With his eyes.
Well, honestly, I think he could have. I think because he's still one of the hottest actors right now on the market to the day. I'm just glad we're going to see him in the industry as Black Adam. That's one of my biggest. I cannot wait to see how they're going to... I just hope they do it right. But I hope that they have the opportunity to portray him. And then I'll pretty much... other than that, I thought the casting for Alfred, Michael Caine, absolutely fantastic. And like you've said... Morgan Freeman, Lucius Fox, phenomenal. You couldn't get any better than that. And them two together, they're Class A actors. They've been around, they've been in the business for 30 years. You know? So they're fantastic all around. Heath Ledger, Joker, don't even get me started, he's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
And like Chris said, I thought he was going to suck. Literally.
I think most of us thought that.
Sorry, that's the first... Well, I thought A Knight's Tale and I thought Brokeback Mountain. I said, this kid does not have the credentials to pull off a character of that stature to be the Joker. Are you kidding me? You're going to try and fill Jack Nicholson's shoes with gay cowboys in the mountain? Sorry, it's not going to flow, but he nailed it. He nailed it to the T, and there's just no other ifs, ands, or buts about that. Ra's al Ghul, Liam Neeson, another great choice. You know he can do the fight scenes. He's got that tall stature. He even grew the goatee right.
The goatee did not match in The Dark Knight Rises. Watch it. When he's having that hallucination, and they found a great way to fix a broken back or a moved vertebrae.
That was terrible, too.
You just hang somebody and push it in there. You know, there's a lot of... God, science has come so far. But when he's hallucinating...
Prison science rules.
Right. I know, prison science. But when he's hallucinating and he sees Ra's al Ghul in there, he's got a normal goatee.
Yeah.
He does.
You know what? I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. In fact, we have a photo of that, and we'll show it to you right now. Let's see. You can see it. Pretty awesome, huh? Anyway, go on.
Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon, I wouldn't replace him either. Phenomenal job hiding his British type accent that he actually has in real life, just like Christian Bale. Played the part to the T, and even to the look, the everything about him was just phenomenal. His screen presence, he's got so much experience in the industry, and his screen presence as that character was phenomenal. It was really, really good job. So those are just my my quirks that I have with like Batman and Catwoman, and really it was like the three major characters. Joker was phenomenal throughout the movie. Scarecrow I can care less about because they literally could have thrown really anybody into that, and kind of as long as they wrote him right, he could have came out right. So, and that's pretty much where I'm gonna end that.
What do you got for casting call, Chris?
Okay, I'll address a few of the ones you had. I actually had a few ideas when you were going through. With Chris Nolan's, I agree with you. The fact that it's supposed to take 8 years into the future, Kate Beckinsale would have been a great Catwoman because she would have had to be older and more established as a thief, because that's essentially what she was. But I think if you would have kept it in time, Anne Hathaway played a great part because she was less physical as far as her fighting skills went, but she's perfect to be a cat burglar. Mm-hmm. Very thin, very quiet, get in and out before anybody else shows up. I loved her as Catwoman. If you wanted somebody to be bigger, to be Bane, I know you said Dwayne Johnson for his size and everything. Well, it made me think of The Condemned with Steve Austin. Mm-hmm. He's got that huge build and that look too.
But also Steve Austin is short, dude. He's not even 6 feet tall. So he would have been, and then as much weight as Tom Hardy had put on, him and Steve Austin were right around the same size. Steve Austin is not a tall guy in stature. You needed someone. All I think of is that one issue. That one issue when Bruce Wayne comes out of the Batcave and Bane is holding Alfred by his hand and he's knocked out and he's just standing there and he's just looking up like, I'm screwed.
Well, you're also looking at the Venom Bane at that point.
He hadn't even hit the button yet. That was him just being regular Bane.
No, I mean, he'd been using at that point.
He'd been roided on it for a while.
He hadn't boosted up on it, but he had been using it for a while. I like the reference to him in the Arkham Origins video game, where he's more intelligent, he's a skilled fighter, but he's just more of a regularly sized dude. Until he gets hooked on the Venom. Then that's when he starts to get huge. Otherwise he's just a paid, a mercenary with amazing fighting skills.
Well, when it comes to casting calls, for the main characters, I didn't have too much of an argument with it. Of course, I agree with Ryan, Chris, and the rest of the world about Heath Ledger. I'm fine with Bale. Because they all gave good performances, but it was the supporting characters.
My one thing I wanted to say about you said for instead of Christian Bale, you had suggested Carl Urban. We thought of that too. We thought he would have played a great Batman. I think the problem would have been Bale played a better Bruce Wayne. I don't think Carl Urban could have played off the ditzy playboy as well as.
I think he
Christian
could. I mean,
Bale
he played a space doctor. He could have played it off. He could have.
I don't know. It's just that billionaire playboy adage. Christian Bale did so good being two different people. Or Carl Urban, I see him in the bat suit, and I'm just like, I think he would have been a great Batman, but I don't know how he would have held up as
Did you happen to watch the special features of The Dark Knight?
I have, but it's been a while.
Did you see where they were... Did you watch the special features of The Dark Knight?
And like him, I have, but it hasn't been since like 2009.
We should check them out after we're done recording. And anybody at home, you should check it out too. They have this news show on there, and they try to interview Bruce Wayne in the news show. He's eating, and he's just totally ditzy. He does a great job of it. But then they interview this restaurant owner. And he's like, Bruce Wayne came to my club one night, and I'm doing an accent, and I don't know why. I don't even remember the guy.